What are you going to have to do on a day-to-day basis if you're trying to run a Shopify dropshipping store? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video. And in this one, I'm going to be breaking down every single little detail that goes into running an e-commerce store, both successfully and unsuccessfully, and just a little bit about how you can be expecting to spend your time. And it's not just like, oh, how do I spend my time? It's a beginning stage and then a day-to-day phase stage. This is kind of how I think about it, because if you don't have a Shopify store yet, what you're doing is different than someone who's already running ads, they've got it going, and they're making money. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what I do, how much time I spend on it each day, and what you can expect for each store. So to give you a rundown, whenever I decide to start a new store, whenever I have an idea and I want to actually create it and I go into it, that's basically all I do. This is just me. Whenever I have some sort of idea, I just create, and I don't stop until it's done, because I want to get things going. I want to move. I like the ideas being fresh. I just, if I want to start something, I'm passionate about it. So for me, I'm going to go and spend a couple days there. I have people now who build the stores and do like half the work for me, but I'm definitely spending multiple days with at least like 3 to 5 hours a day on a new project, doing all the research, the audience research, making my pre-structure for Facebook ads, doing everything behind that, which I'm going to explain in a second inside of my computer. But when it comes to the more management phase, which it depends on if you're doing a data blitz, which if you guys are in the program, you know what that is, but how fast you're moving with your ads, what your plan is with that. But usually by month 2 to 3, like towards the end of month 2. So let's just say, to be very conservative, I'm 60 days in, the store is doing $1,000 to $3,000 a day. It's doing well, whatever. My time involvement on that store is going to be 30 minutes max, okay? So it does depend on what I'm doing with my ads. If I want to do a manual bid or start going into the scaling with the Facebook ad end of things, then it can obviously be more time involvement. But just from a day-to-day basis, once something is really running, there's a couple of things you are going to have to look at, like fulfilling orders, customer service, all of that, but it's not going to be the most amount of effort. It is a front-end loaded business model, and then it becomes passive as long as you structure it the right way and understand what you're doing. So I highly recommend you guys learn these skills. And with that being said, let's jump inside of my computer. I'm going to break down every single thing that's going to go into it. All right, so inside of here, like I said, we're going to be breaking it down to 2 completely separate categories. So we've got the day-to-day down here, which we are going to be talking about, but up here, the beginning. Let's say you're first starting a Shopify store. You've done nothing on e-commerce yet, but you want to create one. What goes into that? What's your day-to-day tasks going to be like in the beginning stage, okay? So the first thing you're going to be doing before you actually create anything, can build any store, open an ad account, you have to do product research. So a product might have just fallen in your lap, something that gave you the initial spark and that initial idea to start building a store. Maybe it's your first store, maybe it's another, but usually I come across something, this is just for me, really interesting that I want to test. I'm like, yo, we got to be doing that. So then I build something around that. I'll do more product research, which is usually the first step. Once I've identified the main products I want to do, a bunch of filler products on the site, I go ahead and get the store built. In your case, you might be going through and just building a store. For me, I push that to my team that I've trained to do that, and then it comes out the other end done. So throughout this is just for the people who are creating their own store. You're gonna have to make sure that you have the site functionality set up correctly. For example, I still to this day go to people's stores who want me to review it, and their button to Instagram reroutes to the homepage, or they click on the About Us section and it's a blank page. You got to make sure everything's wired up correctly. Just some simple pieces of information on there and making sure it's done good. Simple as that. Now, once you have all that stuff done, you've kind of built out the layout of the store. Obviously, this is kind of a part of it, but adding in those products. So using a third-party app such as Oberlo, if you're trying to import products from AliExpress, pushing those over into your website, and then everything to do with the setup with it, which is actually a couple of different things. The biggest one, once you have them in, I guess you could add in titles. Okay, there's a lot of little things, changing the name of the products. I always do that 100% of the time. Reorganizing the pictures, maybe getting other pictures from different listings, taking screenshots, Google, taking your own, anything like that. Editing the actual product page. So this also means the product descriptions. This is going to take a lot of your time. So if you're looking for an answer of how much time are you going to spend proportionally to each of these activities, product research is going to be one of your main ones. So we'll underline that as well as the product descriptions, okay? And I guess if you're building a store, that also is gonna be kind of one of the main things. So the product descriptions, you don't need to go crazy. Like, we obviously have certain structures for what we use depending on the goal in the product description, okay? So, you have different goals for what you're doing. You're advertising, leading into the 3-step process with the ad copy as well. But what you're doing in the product description doesn't have to be a full description for every single product. Because on your site, you really only have like probably 1 to 3 main products that you want to be marketing right now. So you only need to make 1 to 3 main descriptions for those products. And the other ones, yes, you do want to put a description, but it can be a lot lighter, a lot simpler. Some of it can kind of be the same, just, some basic jumbo on it. So that if people want to buy it, they come there, they can, but you're not marketing to that product directly. If you're ever going to be marketing to a product directly, you need a really good description on your Shopify store. That's 100% non-negotiable. Now, once you have all the products added in, you've changed a few things around, made the description, the pricing as well. This isn't going to take you a long time. However, if you do have like, let's say a t-shirt and there's 9 different color variations and there's 4 different styles. Well, that's 4 times 9, it gets a lot of an amount of just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Things you have to change, type it in the price, change it, type it in the price, change, apply, submit, whatever. It's a lot of it's what I call busy work pretty much. So this is why I like to have other people do it, but it's not like that hard, This is the type of work where, you'll probably go through and spend like 30 minutes just setting up all the prices on your site. You can listen to music, a podcast, whatever. It's not hard. It doesn't take much brain power. And then the final thing, making sure the shipping is set up correctly. So if you want to do a weight-based shipping, there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube, I'm sure, that explain that. Or you can utilize something such as better shipping, which is something that I personally really find a lot of enjoyment with, just because it makes shipping a lot easier. If you're doing free plus shipping, it's just everything's a lot easier. It's less of a hassle. So this is kind of what you can expect in the beginning stages when you're first getting into the e-commerce space. That is, a good range of where you're going to be spending your time. Now, in between these next two, the next one that I'm going to be talking about would be your account setups, okay? So this would be things like creating your Facebook page, your Facebook ad account in the Business Manager, opening the Instagram account, getting everything live, linking a payment. You're going to have to go spend like an hour or 2 and do that. And from there, the day-to-day activities, okay? We have a few things we're going to talk about in here. Primarily, this is where you're going to be spending, again, if you guys want a breakdown on kind of where you're spending the most amount of time, marketing is where I spend the time. So when I said 20 to 30 minutes a day on a store that's passive, that is simply with the Facebook ads. That's it. I don't touch anything else. So the marketing, you're constantly going to be launching new ads. Down here, I said like creating new ad creatives, doing more product research on top of it. If you have time, depending on what you're doing, what your schedule is, studying the audience, studying the overall marketplace, seeing what's moving, just trying to get those ads better and better to make more money, get them to convert better, and get them to the point where you can scale them even further. So that's kind of where the day-to-day task comes from. And that can take as much time as you want, as little time as you want, depending on how you have it structured. So one of the things you also want to think about is fulfilling orders. Every order, if you were to just kind of like move at a pretty good, quick pace, nothing crazy, just like listen to music or whatever and just be fulfilling orders. Like let's say you get 10 orders a day. That's going to take you about 8 to 12 minutes, something around there, depending on how quick you are. So if you get 100 orders on a low ticket product, first of all, congratulations. But now if you're doing that yourself, you're spending a lot of time doing that. And that's not a productive business owner task. That is something that you should be outsourcing. So we have what's called VAs for all of this. Again, this is kind of busy work, but VAs stands for virtual assistant. Okay, so we hire these from a multitude of, I can't even spell it correctly. We hire them from a multitude of different places. We have a full team of people full-time with us who do all this stuff for all of our stores, our client stores, everything like that. So that's one of those things where you shouldn't be focusing your time on that. Same thing with customer support. It's just people complaining, people asking for refunds, returns, anything like that. You should not do that for one of 2 reasons, okay? And for both. But first of all, it's not the most productive use of your time. That's not what you should be doing. It's not going to make you money. Second of all, it can be negative. You should never try and bring negativity into your life or let that happen. So if you can outsource, do it. It's as simple as that. Explain what the process is. Let them deal with it. You just focus on the prosperity and the growth. That's it. Okay, so other than that, the only other real thing I'm going to be doing on like a day-to-day basis, like this is explaining kind of what we do right now, is more target research. So this is primarily for Facebook ads, which is how we market all of our products on all of our stores, but doing more audience research, finding more interest, doing competitor analysis, finding other ads that are already working. Through that, we'll find other products, add creative ideas, add copy, everything like that to see what's working. So that's just a very quick, breakdown on kind of exactly all the categories where you're going to be spending your time, as well as how that's structured. So once you get things up and running, you've done all that like busy, boring work, doing some of the research, building everything out, and then it's live. I always say about 80% of your efforts is going to be in the marketing. So that's why I focus so heavily on that. If you guys are inside eCommerce Master 2.0, I don't even know why you're watching this video. You have more than everything you need, but you know for a fact, especially based on the pre-structure module, that we focus so much on the marketing and the product research end of things. Having the right product, and then boom, let's take that to the market, push it out and get a crap ton of orders and do it consistently. So that's what we focus on. If you guys are not inside of that program, I don't know what you're doing, but check out the link down below. It'll give you all the information on that. It's an absolutely unreal program. It's not a course, it's a program. You'll see the difference once you're inside. So with that being said, if you guys have any other specific things you want me to break down, be sure to leave it in the comments down below. And with that being said, if you enjoyed this one, make sure to drop a like. And as always, join the family, join the gang behind that nice looking subscribe button, which, oh shit, why isn't it working? I mean, it's over here. Yeah, there it is. Well, we're about to hit 100K subs, you guys. I do appreciate the support in every single video, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow in the next one. Peace.